All right, so next up in our 2024 coaching cycle hire grades, we take a look at Derek Mason at Middle Tennessee State. First impressions before we dive deep into it. I'm a fan of this hire. Derek Mason didn't have a lot of success at Vanderbilt when he was the head coach previously, but anytime when you're a program at a group of five, like, say Middle Tennessee State, when you can pull in somebody with Power 5 head coaching experience, let alone in the SEC, I'm a fan of it because even if they didn't succeed, usually those guys will have success at the lower levels. Some guys just aren't meant to have success at the big levels. But I think Derek Mason can win here, and I'm a fan of the hire personally. Let's go ahead and dive into his stats a little more here as far as his coaching history, things like that. All right, so like I said, he has been a head coach at Vanderbilt. Currently, as you can see, this year he was the DC at Oklahoma State, DC at Auburn before that. Before he was the head coach at Vanderbilt, he was the D-backs coach at Stanford when they were winning a lot of games, coach guys like Richard Sherman that you may know. And then as far as his coaching record is concerned, let's take a look at that. So at Vanderbilt, you can see it on your screen now. All right, so spent a few years at Vanderbilt. All right, 7 seasons. Didn't have the best record, made 2 bowl games, but Vanderbilt's not the easiest place to win either. So let's take a look at it real quick. 2014, 3-9, not very good. 2015, 4-8. 2016 through 2018 is probably his best stretch here. 6-7, 5-7, and 6-7, then 3-9 and 0-8. So not the most inspiring looking at that, I'll be honest with you. But again, that was at Vanderbilt. That was in the SEC at one of, if not the toughest jobs in the SEC, probably the toughest job. Nobody's going to win at Vanderbilt. It's just tough to do. Now, I did take over Vanderbilt, my road to glory on 2014 NCAA, but that's a story for another day. Won national championship there. But anyways, Derek Mason, I like this hire. Let's look at their recruiting and transfer portal rankings real quick as well. All right, recruiting-wise, you can see it on your screen here. Not the best. 123rd recruiting cycle ranking. 92nd transfer portal ranking. I don't know why I can't spit these words out today. But they do have some solid recruits coming in. All right, so taking a look here. A bunch of no stars, but when you look at the recruits, you got some 3 stars coming in that should be able to help you at some point here. For example, you've got down here the 10th ranked punter. So if you're going to be punting a lot, which you might be at Middle Tennessee State, might as well have a good punter. All right, and then in the transfer portal, all right, so they've got some guys coming in from some big programs. You got Wake Forest transfer, UConn, Vanderbilt, Indiana, and Auburn. Those guys should be able to contribute. You've got some weapons, running back, receiver, and secondary, so you can get a little more speed out there than you probably had already. Now, they did lose some guys in the transfer portal. Let's take a look at that. So these are the guys they have coming in, but they also, like I said, lost all these guys right here. All right, so they've got some receivers leaving. Now, there is an opportunity that some of these guys could come back. That's always a possibility. But you lost, like I said here, DN, the Michigan State, to some bigger programs, so you are losing some key pieces here to some big programs, really. But like you see here, all right, so these guys entered the portal, they withdraw, decide to come back. So I think the big thing for them is, do they get their quarterback back? Let me share this tab real quick. All right, so do they get this guy back or not? Nicholas Vadiato put up some pretty good stats this year, over 3,000 yards passing, and really can help you out a lot. He's a sophomore. All right, so him being able to throw to those weapons we just took a look at coming in from big programs will help contribute tremendously to Middle Tennessee's success next year. Now, taking a look at their schedule, fair warning, it's not very pretty. They haven't released their Conference USA schedule yet. Nobody has, I don't believe. So we're just seeing their preseason schedule, which is pretty freaking brutal here. Tennessee Tech might be a win, but then you got Ole Miss, which is going to be a top 5 team. Duke, probably going to be down a little bit from this year. And then Memphis, which is going to be in the running for making the playoff for that group of 5 school. So you're probably looking at 1-3 in the preseason, non-con. Not the best start for a new coach, I would say. But if you give Derek Mason time at Middle Tennessee State, I think he will succeed. I like the hire personally. Like I say, he didn't win at Vanderbilt, but I think he can win at Middle Tennessee State. I'm going to give this hire a B because you are taking a shot. You're throwing a dart at this. That this guy didn't have success, but he does have Power 5 coaching experience as a head coach. I'm always for taking a shot at that at a smaller school. So I really like this hire. I would give it a B. What do you think of this hire? What grade would you give it? What improvements do you think Middle Tennessee needs to make? Do you like Derek Mason as a head coach? Do you not like him? Why? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.